Okay, so we are recording. So I want
Mhm.
to welcome you and take the opportunity to introduce myself. I know you're
Okay.
part of my community and we just connected. And I'm really excited because I saw that you are also a Christian life coach, right?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
indeed. Hmm.
awesome. So I am, from my page, you could tell I'm Sharianne, and
Hmm.
I was born in Jamaica and I grew
Okay.
up upstate New York, but I'm currently living in Southern California,
Right.
and I've been all over the board. But I try to focus on self care tips, self care motivation, and just to put like positive vibration out there for
Mm.
anyone who wants to be in the loop, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically it. And I just wanted to get to know you. There are a lot of people on my page, my Facebook page, that I don't know. And even though we're connected as friends, but we're not really, what do you say, social friends. We're only friends on Facebook. And
Right.
so I felt as if this year I want to take the opportunity to get to know people and just have a quick conversation on self
Right.
care tips or whatever we want to talk about. But that's basically it. So,
Right.
welcome.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. So, I mean, my name is Helen.
Yes.
As you obviously know, what I would like to ask is, what made you, choose me to, reach out to want to know more about? Yeah.
Well, I looked at your profile page
Mm.
and I don't see a lot of Christian coaches. Not
Right.
that I'm not, I don't want to go the religious way. I'm, I want to be neutral about everything
Yeah.
religion. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't see a lot of people stand out. And I thought that was, wow, interesting. So it would be nice to have a conversation. And
Right.
have a conversation. It doesn't specifically have to be about Christianity. It could
Right.
it could be about self care. It could be motivation, whatever it is. Just I wanted to meet you and introduce myself, get to know you. That I am real. I'm not
Yeah.
a AI. I use AI photos, but I'm not a computer. I am a real person, and what I
That,
post what I post on on my Facebook page, I actually believe and excuse me and support. So whatever
right.
I post, I really believe it, and so I support it.
Right.
Yeah,
Mm. Okay, that's, I mean, interesting, to, like they say, social media is, it introduces you to the world, people
yeah,
you never knew before, places you would never reach, so yeah. So
absolutely. Yes.
I'm Nigerian,
Hmm.
although I live here in the US, but
Okay.
and I mean, I'm a Christian, and that really underscores most of my values, or all my values and
Hmm.
my beliefs. But um, the thing really is that life generally, we're bound by similar factors, similar rules. It's just that at some point,
Hmm.
the thing that guides our um, ultimate decisions, for somebody like me that is a Christian, I would always look at it from my faith part. But for example, I'm a marriage coach, life and marriage, but marriage majorly is
Hmm.
really where I'm focusing. I've
Hmm.
been married for 36 years. And even though I'm a Christian marriage coach,
Hmm.
the truth is, all marriages go through the same struggles.
Of course.
So,
Yeah.
which is really what I'm trying to let people know, that look, the fact that you're a Christian doesn't insulate you from the challenges that non-Christians, because it's a human challenge.
Of
The
course.
things that cause challenges in marriage is just majorly the fact that these are two different people. First
Hmm.
and foremost, men and women are different. We are wired differently. We look at
Absolutely.
things differently. So there's that. And then add to that the fact that, we're from different backgrounds. We've
Hmm.
come with different baggage, different
Yes.
experiences. So being Christian doesn't make you suddenly a perfect person. No, it doesn't.
No, it
So
doesn't.
yeah. So I can also, so that's why I tell people that, look, I can coach an a Christian, I can coach somebody that is not a Christian, because we use the same tools and everything. It's just that for a
Absolutely.
Christian, there will be some parts of what you will need to do that you might want to look at. Oh, what would Jesus think about this? What would God think about this? Whereas somebody that's not a Christian
Hmm.
would just be looking at how they think about it and how they can handle it. So that's where some dichotomy comes
Hmm.
into it. But I've been happily married for these 36 years, and when I say happily married,
Congratulations.
someone asked me sometime, but does that mean that you never had any challenges? Hell no, of course I have.
Of course.
So yeah, so
It's part
basically
of
that's
it.
yeah,
It's part of it. It's part of
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Challenges
yeah.
are so, in terms, if you don't mind me asking you
Mm.
this question, in terms of your religion, is there what specific? There's so many different types of Christianity.
Right.
Um, what would you say? Are you Presbyterian, or are you Catholic, or what specific? I guess.
Well, I'm neither. I'm neither of those, but
Okay.
I would say a really, I don't want to
Pentecostal.
label myself, but
Uh-huh.
I would
That's
might
enough.
say
Yeah.
Pentecostal.
Hmm.
I mean, I attended a Baptist. I was raised Anglican. My dad was Anglican, which is,
Hmm.
I think, Episcopalian. It's what it is
Hmm.
here.
Hmm.
So, and then as I moved off on my own, I became a Baptist. Or I don't know if I would say I became a Baptist or I was attending a Baptist church.
I
And
see.
here in America, I don't know what my church is. I think it's maybe Pentecostal is what you would call
Pentecostal.
it. So it's non-denominational. It's non-denominational. So
um, which is fine. It's the same as what's the title that's called? Universal. There is an organization. I don't remember the specific name, but it's sort of a universal term. Um, and it is a religion. I just can't remember the term that they use.
oh no, I'm not into any religion that is outside of Christianity like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Just non-denominational is what I would say. But if you
Yeah,
want a denomination, then I would say Baptist.
a Baptist. Okay.
Hmm.
I am. I was brought up. I remember when I was a young child. I think originally as Presbyterian,
Hmm.
and then later on, I think um, Catholic.
Right.
Um, we switch, and so it was Catholicism.
Hmm.
If that's the term you use, and but I also it's really confusing because I ended up going to first when I went to high school or
Mm.
um, I was in a private 7 day
Oh,
Adventist,
Seventh Day Adventist. Okay.
and then I was in a Catholic all-girls school. So my
Mhm.
religious background is like
Yeah,
confusing.
mixed.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's very mixed. And so I ended up studying religion in college, but
mm,
I after studying, I wanted to learn more. I wanted to learn about different types of religion,
mm.
like Buddhism, and I ended up became a Buddhist or
Oh,
practitioner, um,
mm,
because I lived in Japan for many years, and
oh,
so I started practicing and learning about the Nichiren Daishonin Buddhism, the specific
mm,
Buddhism.
mm.
Um, but what I learned from that experience is religion. Everyone think their religion is,
Is the right one.
and
Yeah.
I have nothing against that. But religious sect that becomes very narrow-minded and think that their religion is the only religion
Mm,
that will serve, I have problem with that.
mm.
I think religions serve a purpose, and
Yes.
um, the Buddhists would say there are many roads, many vehicles
Mm-hmm.
to bring you to the right, the what
Yeah.
is it, goal, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
um, yeah, so you can take any vehicle; it all leads to the same place. There's
Mm.
only God. There's only,
Yeah.
you call him different names, but
Mm-hmm.
there's only one. And so after that experience, I think I became very spiritual rather than being, and I tried to learn about more about um, Catholics and the practice and it just, religion served a purpose, and I
Mm.
think I'm at the point where I don't I don't want to disagree or agree with anyone, any
Yeah.
specific religion.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it serves someone and it brings good to the society and the
Yeah.
individuals, I think
Yeah.
that's what it should, the role it should play.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I'm of a similar mind in the sense that
yes.
the Bible, tells us that it is God that convicts people,
Hmm.
and He's the one that draws people to Himself. So I don't believe in hitting people over the head
Yeah.
with my religion or my position, or
Yes.
I need to live the life, and let my life show that that I believe in something, in someone, and let
Hmm.
that be what leads people to ask questions and
Yes.
want to. So in that regard, I think I agree with you. I don't agree with people who lord it over people who sit on a high horse and think that, so they are the holier than thou. Their position is right, other people are going to hell, this that it's not my place to judge. Yeah, so that's my position as well. And
Yeah.
you're right. I mean, it should spur us to good works, to live better, to treat people better, and all that. So there are a lot of people
Absolutely.
who
Yes.
profess these things, but their lives are not, showing any good
Mhm.
values. So it beggars the question.
Yes.
Mm,
I totally agree with that. I don't think religion, excuse me for a moment, religion should be used as a weapon.
yeah, absolutely.
And I totally disagree with that.
Mm,
It's to benefit people or to lead people to the right belief. or
Yeah.
say higher power, if
Yeah.
you want to put it that way,
Mm-hmm.
not used as a political tool or to hurt anyone. And religion that
Absolutely.
really, what do you say, hurt women
Mm-hmm.
is not my religion.
Yeah.
It's not the kind
Absolutely.
of religion that I believe in,
Yeah.
or what do you say, religion that designate women as sub.
As second class citizens, yeah. As subservient and all that. Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
now, when I say I believe in God, and I do, and I actually believe in a stronger power,
Mm.
nature itself expresses it, and
Mm-hmm.
I I totally disagree with any kind of belief system that will hinder women from learning, from being
Mm-hmm.
themselves, and and to be free to express themselves. This is
Absolutely.
my stance, and that's
Mm.
my belief. That's how I was brought up. Western
Yeah.
society supports that, and
Mm.
some society disagree with that,
Mm.
and those are society that I'm not interested in.
Yeah. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
in being a part of. But it we live on this planet and we all have to get along. So
Mm.
um,
Yeah.
you know, maybe I don't agree with certain things in different religions, but that doesn't mean I can't have a peaceful conversation.
Coexisting. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that's what humanity needs. I think that um, hopefully we can evolve to the point where we can tolerate each other, not because of our religious belief, but
Mm.
because we have
Yeah.
common humanity or
Yeah.
values. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Mm.
So, how, as a marriage counselor, and I guess my question is, um, how does self care play a part in um, your counseling or as a life coach?
In my coaching, because there is a difference between coaching and counseling.
Yes.
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 So self-care definitely plays a major part, because to start with, I don't coach couples. i
Okay.
just I work with women.
Oh,
So
so
yes,
you're
just
predominantly a female coach.
yes, yes,
Wow.
yes. So, and sometimes people ask me, I mean, why would I do that?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I counsel the coach the couple?
Mhm.
And the reason is pretty simple. A lot of couple counseling
Mhm.
don't work because one party is definitely going to feel at a disadvantage. Say, for
Okay.
example, it's a male coach or male counselor.
Right.
The woman is going to feel the man doesn't get what she's
What she's
saying
saying. Hmm.
because he's a man and all whatnot. So
Hmm.
that alone
Hmm.
is a limiting belief. It's a mental block,
Hmm.
and she might not accept some of the things that he's saying
Hmm.
just on the surface level. Then add to that the fact that if she's
Hmm.
openly expressing herself, she might say some things that this husband will now pick up and say, I don't believe you actually said that. You
Wow.
mean this, that, and the other. And then
Yeah.
that will heat up the room,
Hmm.
and they leave even
And
with
cause some
more
conflict.
things to,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
if I'm talking to a woman, first and foremost, just being both female
Hmm.
gives you that peace of mind that I'm likely
Hmm.
to understand where you're coming from, because we are wired the same. we are likely to look at things from the same perspective because we are going through the same thing, we've been raised the same thing, blah
Right.
blah. So that's the first thing. So you come in with some relaxed mindset, and then you are able to open up because it's a safe space.
Sure.
I'm just listening. I'm not going to use anything that you've said when we leave the room or whatever. So
Mhm.
you are able to unburden, and
Absolutely.
whatever you say stays within the room. And I'm only talking to you. So it won't be that,
Mhm.
oh, I'm saying this because of what the other person has said or
Right.
whatever. So now where the self-care comes in now is this. The reason I tell people that, because some women will say, oh no, they are not going unless their spouse is coming. The
Right.
point is this: in a conflict, there are two people involved,
Yes.
and both of you have a decision to make. If your
Absolutely.
spouse says something and you are stable enough not to react to what he said, that definitely diffuses the tension. So the self-care that you would have received because you've been coached on how to be, proactive, how not to be reactive,
Mhm.
how to prepare yourself. So
Mhm.
when those things come, say for example, he throws something at you
Right.
and you calmly push it back,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
he is already preparing for your retort,
Yes.
and that doesn't come.
No.
So it would definitely give him cause to pause and say, what's going on here? She didn't give back as I thought she would.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that will let him calm down and listen. So
So she's
self
not
care,
reacting. She actually think about how she's responding, and so she
absolutely.
um, positive
Yes.
positive reaction.
Yeah. So because I said earlier on that, look, human nature is human nature.
Right.
There's no question that no two people are exactly alike,
Mhm.
but over time and with research and everything, we know the things that trigger conflict and all that. So we can prepare ahead that
Mhm.
this is the way to respond. That my trip, say, for example, if you say, you always talk to me in a way that is just not right,
Yes.
that is accusatory, and the other person is definitely going to want to defend themselves and all whatnot. But
Sure.
if you've been coached to say, when this happens, this is how I feel,
Mhm. Mhm.
nobody can
You
say you
need to
shouldn't feel the
define.
way you feel. That
Yes.
doesn't, I'm not saying you did
Yes.
anything, I'm just saying
Right. How
this
I
is the
feel.
way I feel, right? So we coach people on how to speak, how
Mhm.
to prepare themselves not to take offense at everything,
Right.
because we need to understand where the other person is coming from. So we are
Mhm.
communicating to
Yes.
understand, not
Absolutely.
communicating to prove our point. So
Yeah.
that's where the self-care comes
Mhm.
in. When
Mhm.
you are presenting a more stable person to the relationship, it will end up affecting the total relationship. Yes, so definitely.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. I wish I had you years ago before I had my divorce.
I know, I
You
know.
would have made a difference.
I hear that. I hear that from time to
Oh my
time.
gosh. Yes. You're so
Mm,
right there. Totally, totally on point. Thank
yeah.
you. Wow. Amazing. And the time went by so fast.
Yes, it did.
So I
Yeah.
want to ask you, what would be like a golden nugget to share with anyone facing trials in their relationship, whether or not they're married or not,
Yeah.
but as a as a marital or marriage life coach
Right.
and Christian, I'm putting
Mm-hmm.
you on the spot.
Yes.
What would be a good piece of advice for
Well,
anyone?
yeah. I mean, in a nutshell, um, our beliefs
Mm-hmm.
really are what carry us through life. Like someone said a few days ago, beliefs create, or beliefs give life, or beliefs kill.
Mm-hmm.
So what
It
you
creates our
what you
reality.
believe,
Yeah,
huh?
it create our belief system creates our reality. So
Exactly,
our
exactly. So yeah, so that's the first thing. So what do you believe? Because we need to know that there's a lot of false narratives and
Mhm.
suggestions going on around. So
Yes.
what you believe about first yourself,
Mhm.
who you are, what you can do, what you
Mhm.
cannot do, what you believe is your reality,
True.
and what you believe about the other person
Mhm.
is also going to determine how you respond to the people. But beyond that, one major nugget is, rather than look for the right person,
Mhm.
you be the right person.
Yes.
Because what you bring is going to determine what you get back. And you might not
Absolutely
get
correct.
it back
Yes. Yeah.
immediately, but be your authentic self. So a lot of times we want the other people to
To be
be the
different.
right person,
Yes.
but you be the right person,
Yes.
and then see how that. So your belief
Mhm.
of who you are and what
Mhm.
your foundation is, with what the other person, that's either going to kill or create your reality and what you
Mhm.
hope for. And
Yes.
then take responsibility. The
Yes.
minute you start putting it on the other person, you've
Mhm.
lost control.
True.
Nobody can make you do anything. We always have a choice on
Absolutely.
what
Yeah.
we're going to let sink into our system, or
Mhm.
what we're going to say, I'm not letting this come in here. So those two.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have to remember that. And that applies to any kind of relationship. It doesn't have to be a marriage, but
Oh, yeah,
yes.
absolutely. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Yeah. Mm.
So if you were, um, if someone was looking for you as to hire you as a life coach, where would they
Yeah.
find you? How can they reach out to you?
I have a website. I
Okay.
also have, my social handles.
Hmm.
I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook as well. But I do have a website where my profile, everything is on. So it's lettinglightin.com.
Okay.
Lettinglightin.com.
Livinglightcom. Okay.
Yes.
It's easy to remember. Living light.
Easy to remember. And the idea of the letting light
Mhm.
in is, there's a lot of um, darkness and lies going around. And if you think of the metaphor of, in those days when they used to print negatives in the dark room,
Mhm, mhm,
it's
mhm.
in the darkness that
Yes.
the negatives develop.
Yes, I
But
remember
if
that.
you if you if you put it in the light,
Mhm.
the negative will not. Yeah. So we need to let the light of
Mhm,
God in, the light
mhm.
of the word of God, so that darkness and negativity can be pushed to one side. So that's what letting light in is about.
And on a personal level, thank you so much. On a personal level, how do you, what is one or two regular self care routines that you implement for yourself? It's a must do for yourself
Yeah.
within a week
Okay.
or so, or a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. So I exercise regularly. I
Awesome.
do weight training, aerobics exercise minimum of 5 times. Okay, minimum 4 times a week.
A lot more than
Most
I do.
times five times.
Oh
In
my
fact,
goodness.
minimum of 5 times. Sometimes
You're in
six
good,
times a week.
you're in good
Yeah,
people.
yes. And
Just have
I
fun.
take lemon and ginger, warm lemon and ginger first thing in the morning,
Yes,
and I try to watch what I'm eating.
absolutely.
Sometimes I indulge, of course, but
We
I
all do.
do. Yeah, so
We all do.
we
Thank
all do
you
right.
so
Yeah,
much for sharing
and I
that.
try to get a minimum of like 6 hours
Sleep.
sleep, but sometimes I get just 5, but I try to get
Well,
that. So
self-care,
those yeah
yes,
are my
that's
routines. Yeah.
absolutely wonderful.
Mm.
Self-care is important, and I think not a lot of people really, well, I shouldn't say that. A lot of Americans don't
Mm.
really
Yeah.
pay attention or give it much attention, but it
Right.
really is important.
Yeah.
Um,
So if I could just ask you before you go, what would you um advise or recommend to someone? What
mhm.
routine, self-care routines or practices would you? Yeah. Let me pick your brain this time.
That's absolutely fair. Well, first of all, self care is not selfish. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
selfish.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to take care of yourself before you can take care of somebody else, and that's
Absolutely.
so. I recommend for anyone listening or watching this that they make self care a priority. And that
Mm.
means getting enough sleep, eating the right food, whether it's organic or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
planting your own vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
growing your own chickens or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. That's part
Yeah.
of self care. Taking care
Mm.
of your body, making
Mm.
sure that it gets nourishment
Yep.
and rest.
Mm-hmm.
That's extremely important because if you don't get enough sleep and you go to your job, you're not going to function the way you're supposed to function, and you're going to be crappy to other people. And
Mm-hmm.
behaviors, it all goes back to your behavior. So
Mm.
self care, whether it's getting enough sleep, eating right, just taking care of, I'm not talking about the external things, but also the internal things, your mental stability,
Yeah.
your mindset, your thoughts, it all
Mm-hmm.
plays
Yeah.
a okay. So,
Mm.
um, what is it? Your mind is like a garden, and I think a lot of people use that analogy. But
Mm-hmm.
if you plant a good seed, good things grow. If you
Yeah.
plant a bad seed, bad things go. It could be
Yeah.
poisonous. And
Mm-hmm.
so you have to maintain a balance. Your physical, mental, and your spiritual. All
Mm.
and that's entails
Yeah.
self-care. Yeah.
Yes.
So
So for
that's
me, of
mhm,
course, I'll add the fact that I have to have say my prayers. I have to read my Bible,
mhm,
pray, because that takes care of the mental,
mhm,
emotional, and spiritual
yeah,
aspects, of self care. Yeah. So that
yes,
keeps me grounded
mhm,
and all that. Yes. So
yeah,
yeah. Mm.
absolutely.
Mm.
I think many people have different ways um, to apply.
To feed, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Mm.
So no one way is the only way.
Mm.
Every as long as you are implementing a balance,
Something. Yeah.
yes, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's good. It contributes to your overall health and
Well
well-being.
being.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So I
agree.
recommend, highly recommend that. You play self-care. Self-care is something that are routines that everyone should implement in their life.
Mm. Mm.
And and what's my last advice? Always, always have a balance between your spiritual, your mental, your physical,
Mm.
and that should help us all.
Yeah.
So whatever
Makes
we put
sense.
out comes back to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes. Mm.
yeah. So that's my piece of advice. Thank you so much. I think I'm going to
Thank
stop the
you.
recording that we can chat a little bit more.